How's it going, folks? Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to another weekend MMO news drop. I hope everyone's been good, so let's get straight to it, beginning with some new MMO titles. First up is ZENITH, a newly announced cyberpunk virtual reality MMORPG for PC by indie VR studio Ramen VR. ZENITH is inspired by anime and JRPG classics and reimagined as a dynamic living world with crossplay between VR platforms and PC. It's a futuristic universe in which players will craft, explore, and live as they forge alliances and friendships in guilds and parties. In the game world, the city of ZENITH has been sheltered from the mayhem unleashed by the crash of a massive starship. While the beasts and horrors brought by the spaceship have been brought under control, the seal imprisoning the God King responsible for the chaos grows weaker every day, and that's why heroes are needed to venture forth to save ZENITH from another calamity. Characters who take up this challenge can participate in epic raids and world events, or go solo to become a powerful leader whose deeds will be forever immortalized, and that's the basic premise of this MMORPG. On the technical side of things, the game is powered by Spatial OS, which is pretty common for more modern sandbox-style MMOs to build large, rich online worlds. The studio this week launched its Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign and has already met its funding goals within 4 hours, in fact. And you can still get in on the early bird packages. I will leave the link in the pinned comment down below, and I do recommend giving it a look to learn more about the features and systems it has planned for release. Up next, we have Seed, a colony simulation MMO that's not exactly new, as it was announced a couple of years back, but this past week it has been given a major shot in the arm thanks to a $22 million Series B investment for its development. Seed is an online life simulator from Berlin-based studio Klang, where each player manages multiple characters. Set far into the future, players will collaborate to rebuild society and create a new home in a vast world similar to Earth. The simulation is persistent and continuous, meaning that when players go offline, their characters will continue to live their day-to-day lives within the simulation. Seed utilizes the Spatial OS, and that, very much like ZENITH earlier, allows Seed to simulate a world much larger, richer, and with more players than any single engine or server ever could. This round of investment is good for the future, definitely, but digging deeper, I've yet to see any major gameplay reveals beyond just concepts at this point, but I'll still link the official site down below so you can check it out if you're interested. Now back to the conventional and existing MMOs, a couple of things happening over at Guild Wars 2 as we wait for their big Living World season reveal event at the end of the month. Up first is the return of the Champion Rush event beginning August 20th until the 27th, where each time players kill a champion enemy in Central Tyria maps, they will receive a champion mark in addition to normal loot drops. These champion marks can then be traded in capital cities for bonus boxes of goods. On top of that, the usual community-wide goal of knocking out tiers will be back, so the more champion marks are traded in, the more tiers will unlock, and the rewards of these tiers are all things we've seen before, of course, from celebration boosters to banners, etc. Secondly, for Guild Wars 2, the anniversary of the game is coming up, and Guild Wars 2 is turning 7 years old. From 25th of August onward, players who created their characters 7 years ago will be the first to receive the new Victorious Anniversary Achievement Box for the milestone, and within it is the impressive-looking Victory Rock novelty chair that strikes a pretty cool pose, plus the Victorious title and a whole bunch of other good stuff. Anyway, happy anniversary in advance to Guild Wars 2. Final Fantasy XIV players and fans in the US, Square Enix will be at PAX West, Seattle from Friday, August 30th to Monday, September the 2nd. And there's going to be a really cool panel that you don't want to miss, especially if you did enjoy the Shadowbringers expansion. The panel is joined by the main scenario writer, Natsuko Ishikawa, and the art team lead, Takeo Suzuki, and they'll be breaking down the creation of the Shadowbringers expansion. The good news is the panel will be live streamed for folks like me who's halfway across the world, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing about the thought process and many other things involving the development of the Shadowbringers expansion. Attendees visiting the Final Fantasy XIV booth can also take part in the Titania trial for the I Beat Titania t-shirts. New players can attempt to beat Ifrit to earn a free base copy of the game for PC, plus a few other cool events. If you're in the Seattle area with nothing to do on those dates, go join them. Moving on, WoW Classic is coming, and for players who can't wait to jump in, hey, Blizzard will be hosting an AMA, or Ask Me Anything session on the official WoW Classic Reddit on August 20th at 10 AM PDT. If you are familiar with Reddit, and you know how it works, I suggest getting some questions on there or just bookmarking the page to see the questions and responses down the line. I've always found Reddit AMAs to be very useful, especially when hearing from game developers themselves. And while these are obviously going to be heavily modded or filtered by the people in charge of putting this together, it's still a good way to get answers to a wide variety of subjects and things prior to launch. On a separate note, I've just recorded a very lengthy and casual WoW Classic discussion video with a couple of friends, and you'll get to see that the closer we get to launch. This past week has been big for Dungeons & Dragons in general. Dungeons & Dragons Online by Standing Stone Games opened its hardcore permadeath server, while Cryptic Studios' Neverwinter, the free-to-play action MMORPG based on Dungeons & Dragons, released the Uprising content update, which is what we're here to talk about today. Available right now for the PC, the Gith is the main attraction, and it's the latest playable race on Neverwinter. Their eternal conflict with the Ithilith spilling into the Honor Mountain is a core theme throughout. Players will tango with Halaster Blackcloak in a new 10-player endgame trial, and there's new PvP content too, including gear, a new map, and even a fresh redesign of the game's main hub, Protector's Enclave. Now, one thing the presser I got didn't highlight all that much is the redesign to the early game zones, which according to Cryptic, should make the earlier maps more enjoyable on fresh or brand new characters. Anyway, Uprising arrives on consoles October the 1st. It appears August 20th is turning out to be a really good date to be proactive among MMO studios, and Intrepid are among them. Ashes of Creation has announced that the Battle Royale Apocalypse will return this month on August 20th for exactly 12 hours from 11 AM PDT until 11 PM PDT, and the game will be on Steam. This is not getting the response the studio was hoping for, as many backers are a little annoyed with the Battle Royale push in general, regardless of the fact that this standalone game is a testing ground for many systems used in the upcoming Ashes MMORPG. If you want to check out Apocalypse on the 20th, it's free and all you need to do is register for an account, download the game, and play. The Steam Store version will show up a day earlier on the 19th for anybody wondering. Onward to Black Desert we go, and there's two things to talk about. Firstly, for the Xbox One version, it received a free update this week which introduced the Archer class, Layla the Fairy Companion, and the Kama-Sylvia region to the game. Xbox Live Gold members also got to check the game out for free, and that offer ends tomorrow actually, August 18th. The game bundles are still 50% off on the Xbox Store right now, and that might end alongside the free play promo, so if you've wanted to grab BDO on the Xbox One, now's a good time at that price point IMO. Second thing for BDO on the PC now, at the moment they're having an in-game event called Burn the Night Away, which is oddly appropriate because it's rewarding players with a bunch of gift boxes based on the amount of playtime accumulated during the event period, which ends on August 21st. More information about these will be linked below so you can check it out on the website or in the challenge tab in-game. Now, you may or may not remember this MMORPG, Adventure Quest 3D. It's been out for 2 or 3 years now, and AQ3D for short is a free-to-play cross-platform MMORPG available on PC, mobile devices, and browsers. They have announced this past week that there will be an in-game event and concert with the band KORN, which is a great band by the way. Developers Artix Entertainment has partnered with the band, and their avatar versions will be in-game and rocking away. Beginning August 20th, arena floors will be flooded with KORN-inspired monsters which are choreographed to their songs. Players will battle back-to-back for survival, glory, and epic loot. The player's goal here is to defeat monsters and boss monsters before the end of the song to earn a treasure chest full of loot. The other game it has is of course Adventure Quest Worlds, and players there can combine items to create the heavy metal necromancer class. And get this, KORN superfans will also have the option to purchase VIP and backstage passes to the in-game event, unlocking additional limited time events, and of course posing for a selfie with the virtual band. The in-game event will be taking place simultaneously in both Adventure Quest 3D and AQ Worlds. How about that for a mashup? And that's all I've got, folks. If there's news for a game that you play which I didn't cover here, hey, share it with us in the comments down below because sharing is caring. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new here for more on MMOs. Once again, I'm Jeremy Adrian, and I thank you for watching.
You're gonna hate me for it, but I kind of like Sylvanas.
Oh!
Yeah.
What's wrong, Tom?
Right. She's so evil.
I know.